Your brain is wired to seek comfort and familiarity. So anytime you try to change something within the brain and you try to change your reality, there's gonna be a certain level of psychic resistance. Because what you have to understand is that your habits, your routines, what you do on a day-to-day basis, it creates a neural pathway in your brain which is responsible for our beliefs, our feelings, and ultimately the reality that we experience in this world. This is why anytime somebody says like, oh yeah, I'm about to change, I'm about to get off drugs, I'm about to be more healthy, it starts off good in the beginning, but then they hit a wall because their default program that they've been operating under for so many months or so many years is actually trying to force them to remain the same. See, what you have to understand about the brain is that anytime it's faced with something new, it perceives it as a threat, because the brain's ultimate role in its job is to keep you safe and to ensure your survival. So anytime something new comes into the brain, your brain is gonna look at it like, hold up bro, what the fuck is this? We're not really too sure about this, so we're gonna naturally resist it until we get enough information that tells us that this is safe and this is something that we should actually be doing. So anytime you want to truly change your life, you have to understand that in a certain way, you have to go to war with your own mind and your own brain and your own self-limiting beliefs and the programs that you've accepted over the years. And a lot of times these programs don't even necessarily come from us. It can come from our environments, it can come from people that we're around, it can come from things that we see and consume in the media, on social media. So there has to be a certain level of conscious effort, and there has to be a lot of willpower, because you're always going to be faced with a certain level of resistance. See, a lot of people don't understand that growth can only happen outside of the comfort zone. Growth typically is an uncomfortable and somewhat painful process. So there's no way to get around that resistance. There's no way to get around that feeling. It's like, bro, when you start working out, when you start doing things, when you start trying to be healthy, you're gonna feel like, man, I don't want to do this shit today, bro. You're gonna have those feelings, and only when you can have enough mental fortitude and enough willpower to go against that, that's the only way that you can change. See, a lot of people want everything to be easy, and when they're faced with any form of hardship or difficulty, they revert back to their regularly scheduled programming, right? And this is why it's very, very difficult for a lot of people to change, because literally your brain really doesn't want to change. You have to force your brain to change. You have to tell your motherfucking brain, hey, look, bitch, this what we doing. Fuck that. This the new program. And you have to do this shit over and over and over and over again. So you have to understand that there's a difference between the brain and the mind. See, the brain is physical, the mind is metaphysical. Your mind has no limitations. Your brain can have certain limitations based upon the programs, the thoughts, and the energy that you put inside of it. So anytime you're trying to change something, you have to understand that the resistance that you feel is actually a sign that you're doing the work. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be painful. This is how you know you putting in work. Take, for example, if you go to the gym and you working out, if it's not hard, if you're not having some level of difficulty, and if you're not struggling, you're not really putting in work. So understand that this is not for the weak hearted. This is not just a walk in the fucking park. This is going to challenge you. This is going to test you, and it's going to force you to level up. You can only get stronger by doing difficult things. Understand this. A lot of people don't want to deal with this, man. They want to just lay back, sit back, and they just expect and hope that their life is going to magically change without them doing anything different. It's not going to work. You have to become the change that you want to see in the world. We all know this. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. I'm just reminding you that you're going to have to go hard. You got to become a fucking savage, bro. We talking about life. This is your life. How can you not go hard with your own life, bro? Nobody is here. Nobody is coming to fucking save you, bro. I wish there was somebody out there. Now, back to the brain. So on an occult level, when we talk about these habits, these tendencies, these neural pathways in the brain, these actually form what we call entities. See, people think that entities are just these beings that's floating around in the sky, these evil beings that, you know, just want to do all these evil things to you. No, bro, an entity is a psychic force that you have created based upon the repetitive thoughts that you think on a day-to-day basis. So for example, if you're addicted to drugs, if you're addicted to substances, that is an entity that you have created based upon the consistent use of these drugs. See, anytime that you do anything, bro, you're using psychic energy, mental energy, brain power. And over time, when you consistently use the same thoughts, when you consistently do the same things, you're using more psychic energy and you're building up these entities. You're building up these thought forms and you're building up a reality within yourself and outside that you'll actually experience as your life. So doing this requires you to go back to the basics and understand that you have to rebuild your reality thought by thought, brick by brick, my nigga. Now, another thing that we have to understand is that when we talk about the brain, we're also talking about emotional attachments. See, our feelings, our thoughts, our habits, the way that we perceive reality is also linked to certain emotional events that occur in our life. See, when I talk about the chakras, I always tell people that your chakras actually hold your emotional memories throughout your life. So a lot of times it's hard for people to change their reality because they have these emotional blockages within the chakras that's linked to these traumatic events in their life. So you have to understand that the only way to remove past trauma from these past negative events is you have to create new events that are more positive. Stop fucking calling me, you bitch. That these emotional blockages that you have to go within yourself. You have to go within your own heart and go within your own mind, and you have to forgive yourself for everything that happened to you. See, forgiveness works two ways. A lot of times we try to forgive the other person, but we don't forgive ourselves for even experiencing these emotions. You have to look at yourself as an entity and a deity. When you look at yourself as more than just a human and realize that you're not insignificant, that you are a God that's walking amongst these people, and you have the power to shift and control and change your reality at will, this is when you'll start to take everything more seriously and you'll understand that you have the power to forgive yourself, and you have the power to even change past events. See, it's all in the mind, bro. The same way these motherfuckers rewrite history, nigga, you can rewrite your history and rewrite your past and correct the wrong, correct the karma, correct those negative events and turn them into positive events. Look, I don't give a fuck what happened to you, bro. Everything that ever happened in your life was positive because it made you the person that you are right now today. So understand, it's not about what you think happened. It's about what you make happen. It's not about what happened to you. It's about what you're gonna do in the future that's gonna allow you to become a better version of yourself. This is also in the occult what we're talking about when we talk about rituals, okay? When you do a ritual, the intention behind is that you're trying to create an event that is so powerful and so profound on an emotional and mental level that it can override the past events and the past traumas that's holding you down. This is what a ritual is. It's nothing about being spooky and scary and satanic and demonic, all this goofy shit that y'all niggas on the internet be thinking. Fuck that. A ritual is an event that is designed to be so powerful and so profound that it shifts your reality by removing the negative traumas and the negative events of your life. You have to create a more powerful, positive experience than a negative experience that is linked to your chakras and that's linked to your mind and that's creating these cognitive biases and that's creating these blockages within your own psyche. Right? So understand, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about rituals. You know, rituals, entities, all of this shit you have to demystify and stop being a bitch. I'm not calling you a bitch, okay? I'm just talking about niggas on the internet that's always so scary and spooky and trying to push religion on niggas. Listen, you have to understand that all of this shit that you have been led and programmed to think is scary and spooky and evil is actually here to help you and make you a stronger and a better version of you. Now look, you can be spooky, you can, go to church and believe that Jesus is gonna come out the sky and save you. Look, my nigga, you're free to believe that, bro. I fuck with all religions, I fuck with everybody, bro, as long as you don't fuck with me. See, once you tell me that I'm going to hell because I don't believe what you believe, nigga, fuck you, nigga, bitch ass nigga. But look, at the end of the day, man, it's all about knowing that you have the power to do it. You have to become solely focused and in tune with the moment and reprogram your reality moment by moment, brick by brick, thought by thought. It's the chosen one, Merkabah 13, man. If you found this video helpful or useful in any type of way, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.